Do you ever wish that you could just get everything in Baldur's Gate 3? Well, with this class mod, we can combine all 12 subclasses into one, and that is the Classes Combined mod here by Ghost at the Window. This is really cool because you get 3 different versions, plus a very overpowered class of Briars and Thorn. You can pick between Wisdom, Intelligence, and Charisma, and as you can see here, we get every ability. So you got your Natural Explorer, Favorite Enemy, Fighting Style, Squiddy Alerts, and you can choose an Oath. And as we continue to level up, we get all the abilities of everything. Now, if we have the choice of all cantrips in the game, the 2 best are Booming Blade, which can add a 2d8 plus an additional 3d8 thunder damage if the target moves. Eldritch Blast is, Eldritch Blast is amazing. Shillelagh, or Shillelagh, which is amazing in the early game because we can use this on a torch for the highest possible melee damage. Friends is a great cantrip if you're the face of the party. Otherwise, Guidance is another one that's very, very valuable. Ray of Frost, to be able to apply conditions with a cantrip. Mage Hand and Minor Illusion are great for support, but we'll be taking this one here. Now, we get a lot of choice in spells. We're going to want to take Shield and Mage Armor, as well as Find Familiar and Magic Missile for the guaranteed damage. After that, I like to take Dissonant Whispers and Tasha's Hideous Laughter. And for the spells available from this list, we can add in Hex and Hellish Rebuke here. And for the Natural Explorer, I like to take the fire damage here. Beast Tamer, we already have the Find Familiar, so getting that fire damage resistance is really nice. We can also take a Favorite Enemy, which lets us get the Ensnaring Strike, which we did at 2nd level here. Alternatively, you could take Sanctified Stalker, I guess, if you want Sacred Flame, but we already have Heavy Armor proficiency, so Bounty Hunter is really the best choice. We got a Fighting Style. I'd recommend Defense, plus 1 armor class works in every situation. There's a subclass, we can just ignore that it's required. We have to take the 3 Squiddy Alerts here. These are just reminders, like you can't have any spells that are highlighted in yellow, you can't select them twice. You gotta make sure that your expertise, and you must have the proficiency for that to work, so just be mindful of that. And there may be some issues with spell animations. This is just a limitation, but you can report anything to the Mod.io page. For Paladin Oaths, I'd honestly recommend to go an Oathless if you, Paladin Oaths can be annoying. You can choose a deity here for your own pleasure, and then with the ability score spread, since we're going with Charisma, Hag's Hair and take that up to 18 would be the ideal movement to go with here. And then we can go 16 Dexterity and then 14 Constitution. But I like to go with the Hag's Hair, and we'll roll with this stat spread. And for our skill proficiencies, Acrobatics, so we don't get shoved, Sleight of Hand to steal things and open up locks, Stealth, and Persuasion, best face skill. So you can choose other abilities, but I think those are most optimal. And yeah, you can see already at level 1, we got plenty of choice for things that we can do. And yeah, we got lots of passives. So you get Sorcery Points, Warlock Spell Slots, Channel Divinity, Sculpt Spells, Unarmored Movement, Starry Form, and then all the Wizard subclass abilities, Destructive Wrath, so you can do maximum lightning damage. And then we get Improved Minor Illusion. We also get we get the Reckless Attack, Lunar Mend, Bone Chill, which is a cantrip from a Cleric there. And then we can choose a bunch more stuff. So I guess we'll grab Resistance there. We're going to be overwhelmed with spells. We'll take our Ranger spell, Ensnaring Strike, and Hail of Thorns. Try not to duplicate any if there's yellow around them. Fighting Style, we'll throw on Archery there. And then for our second Fighting Style, we can throw on Great Weapon Fighting. And then for the Meta Magics, I'd recommend Extended and Distant Spell. And the Eldritch Invocations, Devil's Sight, by far the best to see in darkness. And then you can give yourself Repelling Blast for the pushback. And then for the Squiddy Alerts, be aware to Blade Song Weapon. And just be mindful that you can only use a longsword for the proper casting animations with blade singing. That's just a patchy limitation. Our first feat at level 2, Alert. We're going to go first, and we're going to eviscerate combat. It's kind of crazy. Level 3, you get the rogue subclasses. You get a lot of subclasses that are gained at level 3. So like the Gloomstalker, you get the Slow Fall, you get the extra bonus action, you get the Drunken Performance, and you can see we have a long list of abilities here. So yeah, we're just going to start grabbing things here just for the sake of it, because we're really going to be using like Divine Smite and Unarmed Attacks for a lot of this. We get Arcane Shots, Banishing Arrow is the best choice, and Piercing Arrow is kind of fun too. We can choose a Pack Boon, go Pack to the Blade. The Fighting Style we'll take now is Dueling. Maneuvers, Riposte, Rally, and I like the Menacing Attack as well to frighten targets. Circle of the Land, you can go with the Swamp for Free Darkness. Hunter's Prey, I like Hordebreaker, and then we'll go with the Quicken Spell for the bonus action. Bestial Heart, we're going to take the Beast one, because this one can give us the Tiger's Bloodlust, which is a cleave attack, which can make them bleed. Alternatively, Bear Heart's great because this gives you resistance to every damage type in the game. We can take a Gathered Swarm, and the Jellyfish or the Moths are the best choice. Wait, you have to select skills first, so just a heads up and check your expertise there. There's just a few heads up that you gotta watch out for whenever you're selecting these. Make sure that they're both under the same option. And we'll go Perception, Survival, and Deception there. And then for the feat that we taken, I think Tavern Brawler is a great choice because we got unarmed bonus action attacks, and this is going to be the best damage option for us. One thing I do want to mention is you do have to select the skills here first in order to then later put them on down at the bottom and the abilities. So that's just something to keep in mind, otherwise you won't be able to continue with this. And upon hitting level 4, we get the swashbuckler abilities plus more different wild shape forms. We then can take more spells. Just be, again, mindful to watch the right-hand side that you're not duplicating anything that we already have. Otherwise, it won't let you progress. So sometimes you do have to take things that just may not make sense. We'll take Knock. It's a really great spell once we get to Act 2. And you can see we're actually filling that up really quickly. So again, just be mindful that you're not taking anything that you shouldn't be taking. And we get another feat here. So I guess the charisma increase is a good choice. Tavern Brawler, again, is going to boost our throwing and our unarmed attacks, so that's really good because that also contributes to the Boot of the Giants. This will add additional damage onto that, as well as our stunning strikes. At this level, we can then take Counterspell, fantastic spell, and Lightning Bolt. We'll then also go ahead here with the Arms Fadar. Our bar is going to be absolutely covered with things. And then we can also take the Swamp for the Stinking Cloud can be a good choice, or the Arctic if you want to get Sleet Storm and Haste. We get another Eldritch Invocation. At this point, we can take the Agonizing Blast. And for this next feat, I guess another increase to our charisma to max that out. Works pretty well. Feats every level. Pretty crazy. Level 6, yeah, all the subclass unique abilities are starting to proc here. You also get the Bend Luck, the Transmuter Stone. You can summon double undead. We get the Way of the Four Elements, Fist of the Unbroken Air. Yeah, there's so much going on with this one. I guess we can take the Stinking Cloud and Hunger Padar from this list here. And then we'll take the, Blink from here. Animal Aspects, you can take 5 of these, which is kind of ridiculous. The Tiger and the Honey Badger are 2 good ones. Wolverine, actually, to also be able to, if you bleed a target, you make him have 0 movement speed. We'll take the Bear and the Elk as well. It's crazy. We also get a favorite enemy here, and there's no really any of them work. And then we can take Poison Resistance, because that's great. And this is another one that you do have to select the skills here first. So at the top there, you're going to put skill points into whatever 2 that you want there. And then as we come down, just make sure you do have that properly selected. And then for our feat at this level, I guess the Dexterity increase works pretty well, because Dexterity is Initiative and Armor class. Level 7, more subclass unique features and lots of spells. Gives you a complete portfolio of all those spells there. So yeah, you get a lot of stuff. I'm just going to go through and selecting a bunch of stuff because we got everything we need really at this point. As you can see, Beguiling Arrow. We'll take a couple more maneuvers. Commander Strike, and I guess Disarming Strike. We get this here, and we can take the that for the Ice Storm and Minor Elements, which we already have. Multi-attack defense is good for protection. Even things like Steel Will is nice for advantage against being frightened, and Escape the Horde can be useful too. We'll take the really anything here. We'll go with the Beguiling Influence. Just no more spells. We get another feat here. We'll take the Lucky. We'll save your hide many a time. And it's lagging quite a bit, but we get Potent Spellcasting level 8 features. A little bit less now, which is nice because we need the breathing room. We'll take just, again, whatever spells are not yellow. And we'll max out our Dexterity at this point at 20. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this class mod. Level 9, more crap. That's a lot. You also get Spirit Guardian's Oath spell. We then can we'll take the Ice Cube. It's the only unique one to us. Cone of Cold and Staggering Smite. This is a unique Hexblade spell. Try to find the Needle in the Haystack, whichever ones are not colored yellow. The Cone of Cold works there, which you could get from Arctic, so we're not going to select the Arctic. We'll go with the Underdark for a Cloud Kill and Contagion. And you get Minions of Chaos here. Really, we got everything we could need, so Warcaster can be a good feat if you wanted it, or even going with like a Elemental Adept to ignore resistances to certain elemental damage types. Even the Actor feat is kind of nice, which would be good if we didn't take the increase there. But Great Weapon Master, I guess we'll take for the increase to our... And I've been fighting with this for a while, but we're stuck, unfortunately. Nothing is letting us go ahead here. Actually, I realize what it is. It's the... We already have multiple sources of Cone of Cold, which is not letting us accept. Strange. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with this class mod. We'll continue to go through and see what things we can grab that we don't already have. Banishing Smite, we don't have that. And I guess we don't have a Lightning Arrow either at this point. Yeah, we don't think we can continue past this even for... Oh, we don't have Hypnotic Pattern. You may run into issues with these because you're likely already have selected a lot of different things. Fighting style, yes, 2-weapon fighting. More maneuvers. Wasteland Wanderer Cold. Ranger Knight, we already have everything that we need. Twin Spell, Squiddy Alerts. Don't forget to check your skill proficiencies here again first, and you can just continue to keep taking them. And the ones that we already have, And we'll take the tough feat for the extra 2 health per level, just to give ourselves some more survivability. Not that we need anything. Level 11, improved extra attack, and many other crazy abilities. Shadow Walk, Plan Our Ally. Yeah, we're quite strong at this point. We'll take the Water Whip there. And then for these spells, Chain Lightning and Globe of Invulnerability, although Odaluk's Freezing Sphere is great too. Circle of Death. And then, yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to proceed here with the spells that we already got multiple copies of. Oh, this one doesn't. Yeah, Enthrall works. Cool. We'll take Crossbow Expert or Sharpshooter for ranged attacks. Use the hand crossbow as a bit of extra damage. And level 12, we already got pretty much everything, but you can take Life Drinker now to give ourselves extra Charisma modifier. And then, yeah, you can basically take all the rest of the spells that you don't have already. Everage Black Tentacle is one of the only spells there you are possibly able to select. And for the final feat, yeah, we have everything we could ever want. We'll go with the Elemental Adept Fire, just in the odd chance. Those fire resistances are very common. Oh, and this doubled the rise of the gold members. We have 2 Goldmans now. Yeah, as mentioned, you're not going to be able to select everything that you got here, so that's one of the only problems, but we have Divine Smite, and we have... So basically, we're going to try and use sneak attacks as much as possible. You can go into your reactions here. You're going to see a lot of reactions. Turn on the Divine Smites on reactions there. Turn on the sneak attacks so that they'll always happen. Yeah, you basically want to turn everything on and just attack, because this is going to boost up our attacks quite a bit. We have 2 bonus actions for 2 bonus action spells. Armor, I don't think I even need to cover armor at this point. I'm using the Umbra from Luna and Umbra from Nexus mods. Knife the Underman King's great if you don't want to use something like Shadow Blade, which is part of this mod. So yeah, that's another powerful ability. We just have so many things here that's impossible to keep up with all the abilities that we have here. So we're just going to drag the bar over and get right into combat. I forgot I also have the Rise of the Gold members on, so there's a lot of buffs on the enemies. We're fighting a few gold members here. But we got lots of abilities. We have the first Dread Ambusher. I would prefer to use that for taking out an enemy. If you got the Risky Ring to give yourself advantage against a target, that's perfect. I want this target gone, so I'm going to use a sneak attack on them. 43, we can use the Moth to do a little extra damage here, so we'll do that. It's 0 damage, lovely. Yeah, we have Divine Smite too, so we want to use that as well, but I think actually at this point, we want to try and get a few extra attacks on. So, geez, we have a lot of abilities here. Arrow of Many Targets just to spread around a bit of our damage, I guess, would be probably a solid choice. I want this target dead here. It won't, oh yeah, this class mod won't let you use special arrows. That's okay. We'll then go ahead and use Booming Blade on this target to hopefully take them out. Boom, that was great. We got the Fungal Infestation, so we can raise a zombie corpse. Perfect. And, we still have a range. We still have extra attacks. We have a lot of extra attacks. I'll go with the attack against this target here, and we'll apply the Divine Smite to take a little extra health off. They have a lot of extra health from this difficulty mod, so that's kind of funny. But we do have, I guess, a lot of spells that we could use. Unfortunately, it's really hard to select them here, so if you wanted to use them, you're going to have to rearrange your toolbar. Unfortunately, I can't use some of the more powerful spells that I'd love to use right now, but I guess I'll go with the Dread Ambusher attack on this target here. They have an extra range on their attack. That sucks. We took that to the face. That's fine. Free attack. That was an extra ton of damage. We have the Dazzling Breath there. It doesn't do as much damage as it possibly should. Got a critical success off. Port and Dice is also happening too, so that's something to keep in mind. We also have our Slashing Flourishes too, if you can find it on your toolbar. We have the, I guess, Action Surge too. To use the, if we're using the Defensive Flourish, you get a +4 to your armor class. So that's really nice, using one of your Bardic Inspiration. That didn't take him out, so I'll use the Divine Smite. And perfect, that took him out. And per action, you actually get a Booming Blade. So I'd recommend always using that Booming Blade, because it's just going to be nice. And you can Divine Smite off of your Booming Blades there to take extra enemies out a little bit quicker. And you can actually burn through your spell slots a little faster than you want to. For some reason, there's not the level 4 version. Oh, there it is, level 4 version of Divine Smite. And I'll just go ahead and attack this target here with that. That wasn't enough to take them out either. That's okay, because we can then use another one here. Yeah, a lot of attacks, a lot of Divine Smites, and then what's even better is we have Action Surge, so we can do it all over again. And we'll just use an Arrow of Many Targets, which, again, it doesn't work. It's strange. Just try to use them from my inventory. We have split enchantments here, which we can use on things like Command, which is kind of nice because, yeah, you can use this to do a Command Approach on a target, and you don't have to, but this is good just to be able to stop a bunch of targets from attacking us. Most notably, we have the gold members over there. We don't want them to deal with us. Drunkard's Luck, oddly, can come in clutch here. I'm just going to spam that on everything. And then we locked it down. That's hilarious. Yeah, if we had any more bonus actions, we could do a Quicken Spell. And we have the Wild Magic Sorcerer's Controlled Chaos, so we can spark a Wild Magic Surge, which we created Entanglement, and that actually entangled the gold member. It's hilarious. Perfect. And we also have Portent Dice we can use to change attack rolls into misses if we wanted to. And you don't have many of them, but it's a fun ability and makes it a lot more of a defensive. Really, this class does everything, and it does it well. Our fungal zombies we do get to control, so we can just go in and do an attack and make sure that it does miss, because it will miss. We then get our sneak attack here. We have to attack a target that we have advantage against, which isn't always the easiest thing whenever we're surrounded by enemies here. So you can sometimes eat an opportunity attack, or if you wanted to get the attack off, you can call a friend, and then they are going to apply the pressure so that we can get our sneak attack off on them. So we'll use that there to do a bow attack, 43 damage, and we can use that to teleport if we want to, but that was a one-shot. Perfect. Now, we got options for Quicken Spell. We can do like bonus action spells if we wanted to, because we have 12 sorcery points we didn't use any of. And this is causing a lot of lag, but I'm going to use my sorcerer or my warlock spell slots here just to attack a few people with a magic missile there. Try to eat that. Nice. They try to counterspell that. Got a wild magic surge, gave us a free fly. That's cool. I wish I could grab some of the other spells here because I just can't select anything. And spells would be really useful right now because I can't make it back there. I guess the best way to use this would actually be to drag off a lot of spells and then drag on the ones that you want to use. Banishing Smite being a really fun one because it's a ranged smite, so you can do crazy amounts of damage. And if it's not enough to take them out, you can banish them to... Oh, they had 51 health. If they had a couple less, that would have been perfect. And for some reason, the Flurry of Moths just does not work, so just be mindful of that. But we also have we want to use our Quicken spells on our spells there. This is lagging like crazy, so just a heads up that that will happen. I ran out of spell slots. For some reason, it's not letting me do the level 4 spell slot there. You don't know what's going on. And another thing, if you have 2 of any spell, it won't actually let you use it properly. So yeah, just be mindful that sometimes there are glitches that will appear with this. So that's something just to keep in mind. Yeah, it's the nature of combining so many things into one. So yeah, Destructive Wrath is actually kind of crazy, and you can roll the Drunkard's Luck there, 166 guaranteed damage, kind of crazy. Whoa, yeah, I don't know what's happening there, but we'll take it. Then I guess we can just go with arrow attacks here or booming blade because we really can't move around too much. But arrow of many targets would be a good choice too. We have lightning charges, so it actually is funny because we can actually give a pushback on our attacks as well because of our Tempest Domain abilities that we have from level 12. You have a lot of abilities that you can use as reaction, so just be mindful that you may not want to use the first thing like a projected ward. You may want to save it for a counter spell or maybe something else. I love the Controlled Chaos because, oh my goodness. We summon in a Cambion, but it's a gold member Cambion, and it's now 246 health. That's crazy. So the Wild Magic Surges can actually get hit really hard by the gold members mod. And they'll actually duke it out and fight each other, so that's something that's cool, because, yeah, they're annoying to deal with. And you can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned Cone of Cold here. We'll use our Portent Die, why not? Good damage, 76 on him, but, yeah, that thing has 246 health. For some reason, it's bringing more gold members into... Jesus Christ, they really brought out the full challenge for this fight. I guess we'll blast away with another Cone of Cold, because, yeah, 96 damage, he's still not even, like, yeah, he's healing. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, he's got 200 health again. This is nuts. We'll try that again. Another Cone of Cold. Oh, he's saved on it, 11 damage there. That sucks. But we took out the target behind him, and that's what we wanted there. So, yeah, we can then use a Quicken spell and use something like a Banishing Smite. Kind of funny, because it's not really a spell, but I can't run towards a target too much closer. Use the Drunkard's Luck there, got the kill off. I could use the Rakish Sneak Attack too, because, oh, we banished them, that's fine. Wow, we got them to now deal with. And we'll use the Divine Smite against this gold member target here, or critical hit and the sneak attack there, sorry for that. Meant to say, yeah, we want to use Divine Smite if we were doing a melee attack, but range is really one of our best options there. You also got the Slashing Flourish as well, it's another good option. We even have piercing arrows here too, which can be nice because you can use that. It doesn't have the Arcane Archer animation, so it will lag like this. This is just something to keep in mind that, yeah, there's limitations due to how new this is. I guess we'll also drop a Cone of Cold here on them. Use the Drunkard's Luck, and boom, that's 2 more enemies taken out. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. We also got bonus action Unarmed Strikes, which are kind of cool. We also have the Volley, which is really useful, and the Slashing Floors, which is my favorite because it can attack the same target twice. And we added additional cold damage on top of that there. Pretty cool. And more Cambions because I got the Wild Magic Surges. So yeah, this is going to be the longest combat ever. And combat got really laggy. It's kind of laggy right now. We're dropped by about 60 frames per second. Just be mindful, there's a lot of particle effects and stuff that happen with this class mod, so yeah. There's a lot going on with that one. The class is combined by Ghost at the window. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and we'll catch you all in the next video.